Yeah, we're good here.
We're good at
We're
this
good
one?
there. Yeah, we're good all the way around.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, good evening, good evening. It is 8:11 by our reckoning, which means that it is time for another segment of Real Talk. I'm Ian.
Evening.
Evening. I'm Ian, this is my lovely wife.
Rachel.
We are a big family life in the Simpson family home, and
4Fs with the Simpson family.
4Fs because the 4Fs represent faith, family, food, and fitness. Faith because we believe we can do all things through Him who loves us. Family because aside from God, there's nothing more important on this earth. Food because food is medicine. And fitness because we believe that overall wellness can be achieved by pursuing and maintaining a strong mind, soul, and body. Hence the 4Fs. So we're just here using the 4F system to manifest our best lives. And I mean, what is 4Fs? I get the idea, really the premise and principle of what we're all about is quite simply that, God left us the ability to manifest our own best lives right here, right now on earth in the midst of all this crisis. Happiness is a choice. When your joy is in the Lord, you can elevate to resonate, choose to resonate at a higher frequency and just really just separate yourself from the chaff, if you would. The Bible says that we shall be separated from the chaff, and here's an opportunity for us to separate ourselves from the chaff and just by grace manifest our best lives. Tonight's segment was Fifi came up with tonight's segment, and I thought it was just a great segment. How do we we are a blended family of 10. 8 of the children live in the home with us. Mom and dad, of course, and how do we manage screen time for all these children? I'm gonna get out the way and let my wife get right at it.
And it's really interesting because screen time for us is it's hard with school because school is online and they're consistently, that's where they are majority of the day, and they start at 9 o'clock and then they're done around 3 o'clock depending on when they're scheduled.
Hi Priscilla, God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. Hi TikTok, God bless you. We see you. Share the live, please. If you like what we're doing, share the live. We appreciate you so much. That way we can get some more people in here and be as interactive as possible.
Yeah, so we have like the kids online in school, so they're on the computers all day. And then we love our movies and we have gamers in the home. And then I think we only have three of the older kids on have cell phones.
Hi Shawty.
So 16 and older, they have their cell phones. However, the younger kids don't.
Right.
No unlimited access there.
Correct.
And then, so we have gamers and movie lovers and.
So
Cool.
Screen time is a challenge.
Yeah.
Screen time is a challenge.
And it's just interesting. I don't really know why Phoenix picked this topic. For her. Did she say why?
No. However, I thought it was a great topic.
Yeah.
Simply because, as you said, and we were a family oriented programming. So I mean, I have to know your intentions before I can accept your invitation to join us in the live broadcast. So just give us your intentions, and maybe so screen time is absolutely a challenge. As Mom said, they're on the computers all day. With school, right? And
Movie lovers. Gamers.
And so what it was that journey. When you're talking about trauma and healing from trauma, right? How are you? Are fantastic. Thank you. How are you? God bless you. We appreciate you for stopping in. When you're talking about trauma, right? I read a lot of stuff that suggests that. The same pathways that hard drugs attack in adults, the overuse of screen time in children, they attack the same pathways in the brain. And so when your child, when you ask the child to get off an iPad or to get off the video game, whatever it is, and the child has a mini meltdown. That's what we like to call it as parents because we don't want to think that our child is going through withdrawal. However, there are a great many more studies out there right now that are suggesting just that is exactly what is happening. That the child is in fact going through withdrawal, and because it's attacking the same pathways in the brain of a child that hard drugs would attack in an adult. And so it becomes imperative that as parents, you try to, and all things in moderation. Right?
Yeah, and it's like also with you know, some of the, I guess Facebook, whatever platform you're using, short videos is like that instant gratification.
Right.
So it's as long as it's 3 minutes long or 2 minutes, whatever, it's just an instant gratification, and then you just move on. So they're just short little things passing through, and you don't even actually realize how much time has elapsed. For myself, like I've, you know,
As you're scrolling.
yeah, scrolling, and I'm just
I mean,
like
30 seconds at a time, 15 seconds at a time, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is, Instagram, and then it's been 3 hours. Only, right?
yeah. So it's just really interesting how the you know, technology today, especially with when we talk to our kids, you know, we didn't have the cell phones, we didn't have even access to internet.
I had
And-
Pong.
I know.
Pong. I grew up with Pong.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
for
grew up
real.
in rural
Manitoba.
Manitoba. So
Good
there
evening,
was,
Apple Crunch. God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate seeing you.
and I think that even in the community that I come from, like cell service still there is hit and miss. So it's not like here in Winnipeg if you have access all the time. There it's kind of like you step 5 feet and you lost signal.
Right.
So
And I mean, even here now, you know, the cell, if it's not, I mean, and if anybody remembers that when you used to load the little baby, the first,
Yeah.
the first kind of really hot internet, God bless you, God bless you, the first really kind of hot, really banging internet sensation. I think this was back in the 80s or 90s. I mean, it took 5 minutes, but then the screen would gradually load, and I think it loaded from bottom to top or top to bottom, one of the two. And then at the end of it all, you waited that 5-10 minutes, and at the end you got to see a baby dancing on the screen, and that's where we're coming from. And now, if the Wi-Fi isn't, the hookup isn't like that, we're like, come on now, what's going? Dang it, MTS. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
And I will admit, I would be the first one to be like, my goodness, why is it taking this thing so long to load? And that really speaks to
dependency.
right, and the numbing, if you would, of the senses, right? I mean, I remember rotary dial. The struggle was so real. Try dialing the wrong number on a rotary dial, right? 7, 7, 2, 5. Oh snap! You gotta stop all over again. And I mean, you can't even. And when you got it wrong, you were trying to push it backwards, trying to get it to speed up on the back. So like it went one way, and you'd be pushing it to try to get it to go back. Oh man, rotary dial phones. I mean. And so managing screen time.
Yeah, so managing screen time is very important for us because it's one.
Hey,
Children
God
need
bless
to,
you. Thank you for stopping in.
children need to be children,
Yes.
and you know, either constructive play or solo play, or you know, free time is very important because it's a way for them to learn. It's a way for them to socialize, and it's also a way for them to. Not de-escalate, but also just kind of bring them down from whatever or however long they've been on a computer, because it is hard on their eyes.
We noticed that after a long day, the kids will have a headache. You know what I mean? And that's when it's time to say, hey, maybe we can just go have a lie down, or you know, just go do a detox and unwind. You know, let's just go do something other than, we're big on doing things other than TV. Go to the park. It's spring and summer now, so go to the park, go ride the bike, go scooter. You know, just go outside, go run. Physical activity, right? There's a park right across the street, and now the kids are out, go play tag, grounders, soccer, just go. You just stay active. You know, stay active, and we are blessed with that. We live within a community that it's not a high traffic area at all. Although there are cars from time to time, however, our children are versed in how to handle that situation, of course.
And I think, as you can see, I think with the two TikTok and Instagram, like right in behind us, you can see there is a playground right from our dining room. So
that's our dining room window.
our dining room window.
Hi,
So
Andreen. God bless you.
Hi, sister.
We see you.
and so yeah, we have full access to. Keep an eye on our children. If he's making supper, he can actually see right from the kitchen to the park. And so it's very important that we have eyes, ears, everything on them. However, there is a close proximity that they are, and you just put those boundaries up. However, screen time, what's very important for me is the ability to hold a conversation.
Yes.
Because children are in their phones, like even with our older ones, head down in their phone and not even seeing what's going on in the home. We're having conversations and they look up and go, huh? So it's like, aren't you guys in the moment? Aren't you guys, involved in this conversation? Because it involves you, but it also could involve your family. And he makes a point to, when we're driving, to put away their cell phones, even as passengers, because know your surroundings, know where you're going. You're going to be killing time driving. However, you have to know which area of the city you are in, what was the last. It's kind of just a way of protecting them as well. Yeah, the landmarks. And it's like, what landmark do you see? And it's so we're driving, and just to throw them off guard, well, what did you just see that last block? And it's kind of testing them, because either their head's buried in their phone or they're out actually being participants in their life.
Right. It was really, and just to piggyback what my wife here was saying, it's a very conscious exercise that we engaged in, because we encourage the children to say that, it's not for you to eavesdrop on conversations, not our conversations, not adult conversations. It's not for you to eavesdrop on conversations. However, you should be aware of certain key phrases, such as, yeah, that's her in the black jacket. And if you're wearing a black jacket, you ought to be aware of that. If you were driving in the car, and if you're driving in a car with anyone, not just with us, you're killing time looking at your phone. However, be aware of your surroundings. If something happens and you need to call mom and dad and say, hey, you need to come pick us up. Where's the closest cross street? I don't know, it's dark, it's not. No, be aware of your surroundings. Oh, we just passed a 7-Eleven 5 minutes ago. Okay, that helps. You know what I mean? Every little, not that we want our children to be paranoid. We live in different times. It is so different from when we were children. I had the benefit here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, of growing up in the Wolseley area, which was one of the best areas ever to grow up as a child. I could go into neighbors' yards and pick raspberries and rhubarb and crab apples, and no one threw rocks and sticks and stones and asked me to get out. True story. It was really a terrific place to grow up in this city, and as such, life is hard all over, right? We all have problems, we all have traumas. However, I have some fantastic memories of Wolseley was such that we were known as the tree huggers. When they came to fog for mosquitoes and such, there would actually be residents that would be lined up across the street hand in hand to prevent the trucks from coming through, because they understood that they killed mosquitoes and dragonflies and bees and everything indiscriminately, just killed. And so it wasn't good for the ecosystem. So they were just really family oriented, and you know what I mean? And it was a very safe place to grow. I had very distinct boundaries and borders. To be quite honest, I was very sheltered. However, we live in different times, and so it is imperative for us as parents to better prepare our children, not to be paranoid, but just to be aware. Again, yeah, that's her with the glasses. You have to hear that. You have to hear that, because that could be you, and you have to be aware in order to be safe.
Yeah, and that is it. No, sorry, I was looking at numbers, and so for me, or for us, because we have 8 kids in the home.
Mm.
I don't really consider, well, Noah is our child, however, he's an adult.
He's an adult.
So he has his own belongings. He does his own thing. He has what he needs for him, right?
Exactly.
However, we have to share 2 living rooms, and it's just managing. Okay, well, if you guys are going to be playing a game, make sure it's, you know, a 4-player, and you guys have a time limit from this time to this time. And then also TV. It's like we all watch a movie, but you have to pick something that we're all gonna enjoy, which is
we do
quite.
a lot of faith-based programming, and we do we actually do, and a lot of cartoons. You know, we're very mindful of what the children watch, and the children before they rewatch a lot, and before they watch something new, they'll actually come and check in and say, hey, what do you think about this? And we'll either give it our stamp of approval or not. And I mean, the idea there quite simply is if you do not program your mind, it will be programmed for you. I mean, there was a time when it was called TV Guide, okay? I mean, there was a time when it was called TV Guide. Now it's called programming.
And the other,
just my lived life experience.
the other with in some of my psychology classes, they talk about the aggression in children. So what you actually have your child watching is you're programming them. So the more aggressive or violent the TV show is, or the movie, or the game, it actually
translates into real life.
So it's, you know, just learning from school, and then also implementing it in our home, which is very important because I think we just really monitor, like even with cursing, like cursing is not allowed in the home, no matter the age, and so TV shows. And it's funny because they'll be watching something and then they'll hear a curse and they're like, okay, this movie's done. They'll shut it off and find another one.
You know what? We're not prudes. I curse. Yeah. I curse far too often. We just try to be good, godly, and kind. We're not prudish. We're, you know, I mean, we like to have fun. We laugh. We're goofy and silly. However, we keep ourselves separate. Do you want to touch on this, baby?
Oh, the Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would have been about 2 years ago. Fortnite. So that was a new game that had come out.
Even back then, it wasn't new, baby.
No.
Not really.
Oh well, it was new to me.
Everybody knows what Fortnite is.
So it had come out, and you know, something had come up in the news in regards to this here in Winnipeg that, you know, another child, they were in this game and the other child actually retaliated and left his home to go see the other child and hurt him. I think he murdered him.
He killed him.
Yeah, so
he killed him over a video game.
And it was concerning as a mother. I'm like, wow, this is really.
And as a father, it was concerning for her. As a father, I panicked.
Yeah.
I was knee-jerk. Fortnite is out the window. It's gone. Dead. Yeah. No more Fortnite ever in the Simpson family.
So yeah, we uninstalled them on the machines, and Ryder was actually the one who had a total meltdown.
He did.
And it was when I seen that happen, I was sad, because to see him actually going through this physical change. And
here's Ryder now. Ryder, come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. We're just talking about you. And of course, Justice is here. Oh, it's that time already? Yeah. Wow, time flies when you. Yes, of course. Sorry. So here's Ryder right now. Come on into the frame here, Ryder. We were just talking about Fortnite. What that was like for you. You want to talk about it?
No.
I mean, but it wasn't easy and it wasn't fun, and we don't do this to ridicule him or anything like that. We just say he's fine. The thing was, though, it wasn't his fault. What he went through with those with the withdrawal, with the physical change in his body, the change in his attitude, and his everything just changed, and it wasn't fun for him to go through. And as parents, it wasn't fun for us to watch. However, we see you, Justice, trying to get in the frame. Come on in, man. It's all good. Come on, get in the frame. Get in the frame, man. It's all good. As parents, it wasn't fun for us to watch. And you don't want to put. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you so much. We have a beautiful family. Good night, all. Auntie Di said good night. And so as a parent, that's hard to watch. And granted, I'm not talking about, if you remember that movie with Chris Rock where he played Pookie, New Jack City, or Am I My Brother's Keeper, where he's going through withdrawals from hard narcotics. I'm not talking about anything quite so drastic and dramatic like as that, obviously. However, there were physical changes in his body, and so that was the concerning part, that this is real. You know what I mean? We can't allow that to happen, so we had to stick to the guns. And to this day, 2 years later, do we play Fortnite?
No.
No. We brought Noah. Noah brought in Super Smash Brothers, which is another kind of kick and punch. And New Jack City. Thank you. Yes, cousin Di. So we had an incident with Super Smash Brothers, and so we had a Super Smash Brothers ban for a while. Has the ban been lifted on Super Smash?
Okay.
No, it hasn't. Thank you. No, it hasn't been. I'm old, I forget. The ban has not been lifted on Super Smash Brothers.
I think
and
I
you see the honesty? You see the honesty? I mean, we even got in on it. We got in on the Super Smash Brothers. We played a couple games, and it's great game night. However, once we are a super competitive family, and I mean, we can't even play Risk. Risk, the board game, has been outlawed because feelings get hurt.
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, feelings get hurt in Risk. I mean, people start to cry. I'm not even playing. People start to cry. They start to cry when we play Risk. So and I mean, I'm that parent that anything you get from me, you earned. I do not give victories. I don't. So yeah, Risk, no Risk. We're gonna check out Settlers of Catan, and we'll see how that go. But I mean, it's not easy being such a competitive family. Like we had a mini run. We had the steeplechase this morning when we were in the workout. We had the steeplechase, and so what that is, we run 3 laps of our compound. Each lap is about 1.5 kilometers. At predetermined locations, we stop to do 25 push-ups and 25 sit-ups. So and we do that 4 times. So all told, we do 300 push-ups, 300 sit-ups, and 3 laps. And so now we're running, me, Brooke, and baby. We're running and we having a good time, and we and Brooke, when she decide to go, Monopoly, yeah, they do. Hey Jody, God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. They do Monopoly. They love Monopoly. Monopoly is just about the only game that Monopoly and Sorry. We do a lot of Monopoly, a lot of Sorry, and a lot of Uno, yeah. and yeah, those are relatively safe. However, Monopoly, it gets hot sometimes. It gets hot once we start getting into, they're trying to rip baby off with the deals that they're trying to offer her. Monopoly do get hot too. So today we had 2 laps, just nice and easy. Me, Brooke, and baby running. And it was beautiful, beautiful day.
That was yesterday.
You're right, baby. You're right. That's Bucky there. You're right. It was yesterday.
Okay.
Chess. Yes, we do chess. And hi Carla, God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. We do chess, and I'm teaching the kids how to play chess. However, they're not here yet. They need to beat up on each other first before they can, right? Because I will just smash them. I mean, I will beat them in 2-5 moves if I can.
I can play chess against you, man.
Excuse me.
I can last more than 5 moves.
All right. Here we go. I mean, even tic-tac-toe, you don't even understand. I mean, we are competitive. And I mean, GQ Jordy with the good hair. I remember one time we were at a family restaurant years ago, and we were playing some tic-tac-toe, and I was caught up in my feelings, and I said, let me give the kid a W. So I gave him a W, and I said, oh my goodness, look at that, Jordan, you won, good for you. And he straight deadpan me, and he just looked at me like, and I was so ashamed. And I said, I'm sorry. I'll never do that again. Yes, Jody, the gloves are definitely off in the Simpson family home. We don't play when it comes to board games. And so she ran 2 laps nice. And then on the third lap, I'm thinking I might have a chance at beating her because that's her event. That is her event all day. And then after the first set of push-ups and sit-ups, she took off like a bolt. And this is 2 laps deep. And I just thought to myself, my heart just sank. And I'm like, dang, she was saving it. Because I thought, dang, she was saving. She took off like a shot. And we were already 2 laps, 45 minutes into a workout. I mean, sweating and everything. And she was just saving it. And that last lap, man, competitive. Yeah. And that's, you know what, that's how we manage screen time. We find other things to do, and we do it as a family. It's not that we tell the kids to, no, you can't play this or that, go sit down in the corner. No, let's do something together instead. We give them alternatives. Mm-hmm. We give them alternatives to sitting in front of the TV, because a lot of what we like to have fun. As I said, we're not prudish. We love to have fun, and everything is about family. Mm-hmm. We'll sing karaoke. We do games. We watch movies.
Now, what happens on movie night, guys?
They lie. Don't even listen. Don't even no.
What happens to Dad on movie night?
He sleeps.
And I never, to keep him up, I never go next to him because he's like a furnace, and I just start falling asleep with him too.
I mean, we movie night. Here's what movie night looks like. We have these 2 little like camper single mattresses, like you would use in a camper or something.
Yeah.
Like in a single camper, right? We have 2 of those. Those come up from the basement. And usually that's me and Baby and Puff the Magic Dragon, right? And Baby's in the corner between the couch. There's me and Puff, and there's Justice. And that's really all I remember about movie night. Just really the setup. You do the beanbag, and yeah, that's real. I don't movies. So the wife wanted me to watch Titanic. I refuse. So what she'll do is put it on while I'm sleeping, and I watch it vicariously. And she said to me, "Baby, you watched Titanic last night." I'm like, "Did I love it?" And she said, "You loved it." Oh, good. And I've watched all the whole series of 50 Shades of Grey as well. And apparently I loved it. I will sleep through anything. I will go to the movie theaters, and if we go to the movie theaters as a family, that's a big hit. And I will sleep. I will have some of the best sleep in those. I will sleep anywhere. All right, you guys are late. Let's get you guys. Give us a second here. The Simpson family home at 8:30. This is what we do. This is kind of routine is everything. Love you.
I'm ready to take off the sweater. You're kicking me so hard.
So I made the mistake. I committed the cardinal sin.
Oh my God,
You are related to me. Yeah, well, yeah. Cousin Di said, "Oh my God, you are related to Carl." I'm guessing he's the same, huh? Oh boy, good night, my boy.
Take Mercedes.
All right.
Look, and she's
Yes,
ready to
When
go.
would we start playing violent games?
Hey,
Any of those games?
when you get those back?
Yeah.
Oh snap! I was about to say when you become a teenager, and he just turned a teenager.
He's
Dang.
13 now, so.
Yeah, when you officially become a teenager, when you're old enough to drive, when you can get your driver's license. Yeah, when you can drive a car.
Phoenix can.
Phoenix can what?
Play violent games.
No snitching. No snitching. Phoenix is not 16.
Mom can't see this.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Say goodnight. Oh, say goodnight, guys.
Night.
Aunties, yes. Oh, it's okay, baby. Good night.
Mom can't see.
That's fine. Yeah. You gotta go. No, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh boy.
Oh, I can't look.
Boy. She's working on Mom's birthday card. Hey, you guys want a sneak peek? Mom can't see yet. Mom can't see yet, but I'll give you guys a sneak peek. And Mom's favorite thing in the world is turtles. Not that there's a turtle on this card or anything. But, you guys can get a sneak peek. Mom can't see. This is sneak peek. Yeah, and I mean, so what it is that actually we really feed into their interests. we really try to feed into their interests. Like for instance, Phoenix likes to bake. So we've invested in that. She got a new mixer last Christmas. I mean, Phoenix is such an interesting character. Last Christmas, couple Christmas, what do you want for Phoenix? What do you want for Christmas, Phoenix? She said, she thought about it real hard. And she said, Band-Aids. I want Band-Aids for Christmas. So, along with everything else that she got that year, she got Band-Aids. And let me tell you, man, if you need, Phoenix is such a special individual. She is the keeper of chronicles in the home. Every family has one. Every large family has one, right? Every large family has a chronicler. They remember all important dates. They remember all birthdays. They remember, and she is the keeper of knickknacks. If I need a thumbtack, if I need a bobby pin, if I need a safety pin, if I need thread, if I need...
She's like a
if
little
I need
homemaker.
Band-Aid, if I need a Band-Aid, Phoenix is the one you go to.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody come to me and I say, go see Phoenix. Phoenix has it, and if she doesn't have it, she knows where to get it. And it's like Phoenix is like Leo Getz. You remember Leo Getz from either Leo Getz from Lethal Weapon? Joe Pesci plays Leo Getz. Whatever you need, I get it. Or the character that not Samuel L. Jackson, the other black guy, Morgan Freeman. The character that the Morgan Freeman plays in Shawshank Redemption, right? These guys, whatever you need, they will get it. That's Phoenix. If it is in the home, and the funny thing is, Baby and Bucky, they lose everything. You get them something and they lose it. And somehow it always turns up in Phoenix's knickknack. She has a tickle trunk, a knickknack box, all of that, all rolled up into one. And I don't know where she stores stuff, but she stores stuff. And when we buy her clothes, her and Ryder, when you buy them clothes, they go into storage, and then 6 months later, they come out. And if they still fit, that's great. However, sometimes
Ryder, all his joggers, they were all small just this year.
brand new joggers, man. I haven't seen them since we bought them and gave them to him. Forgot he had them.
Oh, and today he pulled out his
Brand new sneakers.
Yeah, he'll wear them like it. He has a favorite gym pants that has holes in it, and he still will not let me throw it away.
I think his brother gave them to him. I think Tough gave those to him, didn't he?
I don't know.
I think Tough or maybe somebody gave them to him, and
Yeah.
they have value to him. So he's not. I don't bug him about it. He wears something underneath it, so it's like I don't bug him about it. It means something to him. And there's that being a respecter of persons when it comes to managing the personalities. Strictly speaking, that should have been thrown in the garbage years ago. However, it has some form of sentimental meaning. I've tried to ask him to throw it out on a number of occasions, and he smiles and nods, and he says, "Okay, next time," and then it just keeps showing up. Now, I could obviously make a deal out of it and say, "Now that," because strictly speaking, it should be thrown in the garbage. I mean, it's got holes in the knees, it's ripped here and there. However, as I said, he wears. It's not every battle as a parent that we need to win. I mean, a child's job really is to push those boundaries and test those limits. And I don't think that's what that is in this instance. This is just something that offers him comfort. And so, I mean, I'll eat that one. Sure. It's a pair of sweats, man. It's a pair of sweats. It's not even an issue. And
He
then,
just knows we're talking about
My
it.
sweats?
yeah. My sweats soon. Watch. My sweats. And so I made the mistake the other day. What I do, everybody in the home to me is baby, right? I mean, except her, she's babe, but everybody else, the girl's babe. I'm like to terms of endearment with the children. And I made the mistake, right? I said, "Okay, baby, give him a hug. Okay, baby, good night." And he looked, baby, with his big the new Barry White voice that he's been sporting since the last few weeks. And he stepped back, "Baby," I said, "My bad, right? Sorry, Ryder, my bad. Good night, son." My bad. I'm not a baby. I'm 13. And you sound like you're 25. But
But he still sits on mom's lap as you can
oh, we'll still sit on mom's lap and cuddle with mom like nobody's business. And don't you dare call him a mama's boy, because he'll just agree with you. He'd be like, yup. Yes, I am, and quite proud of it. Thank you very much. All these personalities, they just, how do you manage screen time? Give them options. Give them options, and be invested with them, right? So the thing is that we don't say, okay, you guys have to. Hi, Simpsons. Hey, Charlene, God bless you. Thanks for stopping in. Haven't seen you in so long. You know, so we don't sit here and say, oh, you have to monitor your screen time. And you know, on a previous broadcast, I said one of the biggest things that I had to learn was to be a do as I do parent and not a do as I say parent. I'm a Jamaican, and the cultural differences there was I was raised by do as I say parents. Children ought to be seen and not heard. Good night, sweetheart.
Good night, baby.
And all those good things. You know, when you're talking about generational curses and generational trauma, right? And so love you. And so love you. Woo! That's the wolf call. Yeah, that never goes unanswered in the Simpson home. And so you know, I had to unlearn a great deal. And I don't blame my parents or anything like that. They did the best that they could with the information that they had. And the same in my early years when I struggled as a parent, I did the best that I could with the information that I had. However, as God would have it, and as more information became available, those of us that know better ought to do better. So I am learning to be a do as I do parent, and less of a do as I say. And so I have to model certain behaviors for the children. And I mean, she's pretty much perfect, you know, when it comes to issues like that. But me, I have to work at it. You know, I have to work at it. Go ahead, babe.
No, I was just listening to the dog from down there. And that's, yeah, you have, some of them in bed. However, we have teenagers still out roaming the home here. And it's, yeah. So it's like 8:30 they go to bed. But already by 7:30, the littles that we call, they are actually off any kind of devices, TV, everything is shut off at 7:30 so that they have an hour before bed to actually unwind, because if they go to bed, their little brain is still going.
Right.
So we, you know, I think we started that about a couple
started
months
that a
ago.
couple, yeah, that's something new.
Was that was something.
That was something new.
And so it's just they're able to either go and read, because we have one child that just loves to read.
Two. Driver as well.
Yes. So they're reading. The boys go in their room, do their thing. They're able to just settle, unwind. The girls, you know, arts and crafts, reading, or they just hang out with us.
I mean, Phoenix is, you know, Phoenix. Yeah, that's weird. Like the kids, they like hanging out with us. and it's so funny because when we were living on the other side, we were in the basement. The numbers just being what they were. We were in the basement, so the kids never hung out. And then when we came on this side now, you know, we've got the master here and, you know, light in the room and everything. And I remember shortly after GQ Jordan with the good hair moved in with us, right? One afternoon, it was a beautiful summer afternoon, and I'm sitting in the bedroom there, and I'm noticing that, you know, the kids are not only in the room, but they in the bed, and that's something that, like, the kids don't get into bed with mom. That's just something that's you know, it's just, you know, just not something that they do, but the kids were in the bed, and so I'm like, I'm scratching my head. And as I'm walking out the door, I see big GQ Jordan come strolling down. He about to come join the party. I'm like, where you going? And he turn around. so yeah, they actually, and Phoenix, it's like, you know, you turn around and she's there. You know, like, I mean, like they actually, the teenagers, it doesn't even know every once in a while will come and hang out with us and just,
Yeah.
And Fifi, she went downstairs earlier because she helped me with supper. She helps me with all the meal planning, menu planning, all the supper, everything. She is my number 2 in command in the home. And if you asked her, she would say she's number 1. And she's with her. We identified from very early on. She's gonna be a leader. She's that strong, dynamic personality, that alpha personality. And so me and her, all the time. especially in the kitchen. We button heads all the time. And then the challenge for me becomes to temper that will with good godly kindness. I'm not at all interested in breaking her spirit. I'm not at all interested in that. She's gonna be just a terrific leader one day. And so, we've had this conversation where I said, Fifi, why do people yell? She said, why? I said, because it works. True story, right? I said, because it works. I says, now, you can have people, because you're going to have people, you're going to lead people, you're going to have people under you one day. You're going to be in charge. You're going to be in charge. You're going to be in charge. I'm manifesting that into her life. She's going to be in charge. She's going to be a leader of many women. And I says, now, you can either have them follow you out of fear, or you can have them follow you out of love. Either way, it's effective. If they fear you, they'll do what you want. And then, I says, the difference is this. If they love you, they'll die for you. So you need to decide what kind of leader you intend to be. Will you be loved, or will you be feared? And so...
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. But she is fantastic. Let me tell you, she's in a position right now, if I put her into it, she could run her own kitchen. Facts.
Mm-hmm.
She could run it, and she could run her. She does run the household, and I've given her the leeway to do so. You know what I mean? We go shopping. She's making grocery lists. She's buying groceries. I had to take her out so that we could learn to pick produce, because I believe these are valuable life skills. And it's not just because she's female. It's simply because that she shows the most interest. Took the boys out too to learn to pick produce. They don't care. All they know is it's in the fridge.
Or I think it was Noah. He's like, how come we can't get this stuff? And it was like chips. I was like, because I don't buy chips. And then he just walks away. Okay. So.
Don't take him shopping no more.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Justice was a real fan of chips, and Justice joined us the most recently. Mm-hmm. Justice was a real fan of chips, powdered donuts, sugar donuts, all these things that are not good for his condition. And so what we had to do, Phoenix took charge of that. So Phoenix says, well, what can he eat? He can't eat chips. He can't eat processed foods. He has Chiari syndrome, which is part of the triad, and so he's incontinent to a certain extent. And so Phoenix says, what can he eat? Well, we say we can put him on stuff that's high in fiber, grapes, prunes, dates, figs, stuff like this, right? So Phoenix comes shopping with me, right? And I say, Phoenix, what's Phoenix doing? Phoenix buying all this stuff, dates, figs, prunes, and then she go online, okay? And then she find these recipes for these bites. And she made one. She took the apricots and she put it in a food processor and put some coconuts in there, shaved coconut, some pineapple juice, and oh my Lord! And she make these little, and they're just little bites.
They're almost like Timbits.
Not even squares, not squares. They're circles. She makes
they're like Timbits,
but just like date squares. Yes, date bites is what. And she makes some with oatmeal and chocolate chip cookies and peanut. And you eat that before a workout. I mean, this thing is just like maybe a cup energy bites. That's exactly what she made, and she's tinkered them. That's exactly what they are, and she's tinkered them so that they are diuretics. She's made diuretics for Justice.
Yeah.
And he loves them, and more than anything else, I think that he loves the idea that someone thought enough of him to do that just for him, because those are in the fridge just for him. Anybody else can eat them, certainly. I mean, if you want to deal with the aftermath. Severe constipation is a side effect of his condition. However, we are managing it, and he is showing progress.
Yeah, and it's just like he goes into the pantry and he comes out with his little bags of whatever, and so he's eating his dried apricots and dates and he has them.
He says, I don't know what this is, Dad. There's a little dried thing in there. I don't know what this is, but that this is good. Dietary issues can be so. It's a true story, and I mean the reality of his existence is that he still wears a pull-up. However, we are managing that, and it is our hope that through hard work and prayer, Let me say that again. It is our hope that through hard work and prayer, we're doing our part by managing his diet, and we're doing our part by praying and asking for God's intervention. And the exercise piece is so important. I mean, food, for us, faith, family, food, and fitness, right? Food is medicine. Please let me say that again. And I will only ever speak about my lived life experience. 2 years ago, I had my right hip completely replaced and my left hip on the way out. I saw some information, I saw some programming, I started doing some research. I was ready to have the hip cut out. And then I don't know what changed within me. I don't know what happened. And I decided to intentionally sit down, and I looked and I said, God, what's really going on with this? And this was really right around the time that we started developing this 4Fs thing. I didn't know at the time what this was. However, I was nibbling around the edges of something, this idea that all this information, music plays a role, frequency plays a role when it comes to healing the human body. There's so much information out there. Frequency plays a role when it comes to healing the human body. Bob Marley is my healing frequency. Believe it or not, this is what I stumble. When I run now, I listen to Bob Marley on repeat. Bob is my healing frequency. Let me say that again. Frequency, there are a great many studies out there that frequency plays a role when it comes to healing the human body. And so when I sat down and I said, God, what are we going to do? Am I going back under the knife? And then I started getting information that said that Jamaicans, I'm a Jamaican, we knew this inherently. Bone marrow broth can reduce the effects of arthritis. Bone marrow broth. As Jamaican, we would eat a lot of cow foot, chicken foot soup. And the thing is, when I think back on my lived life experience back home, when I think of the elderly back home and the elderly here, they don't present the same way. You know, the elderly back home are still strong and vibrant, full of life, and they do for themselves, and they're not bedridden or infirm or sickly or anything like that. So what's the difference? The biggest difference is the diet, right? Arthritis really isn't, it's there, but it's not really a big thing because of the bone marrow soup, bone marrow broth will reverse the effects of arthritis. I'm not an MD, and I do not play one on TV. I am speaking on my lived life experience. Oldest Jamaican just died yesterday or the day before. He was 119 years old. Thank you, Cousin Di. Was he still living on his own and moving around on his own? Quite possibly he was. I'm only speaking on my own lived life experience. Because a year ago this spring, I started running because I said, no, God said no. God said no. God said no. I asked and God said no. I asked, am I going back under the knife? Is this it? I asked and God said no. And so I started to work. And the first thing I said I had to do was, number one, let's lose a little bit of weight and give the joints a chance. Let's lose a little bit of weight and try to help my body out as much as possible to do what it needs to do. And I figured, when I came out the surgery, this was weird. They came out and one leg was longer than the other. I was perpetually swollen, and the knees, and once I figured out that, I attacked the problem intentionally, so I had to readjust my posture and relearn how to stand. And I figured that if I did that intentionally, eventually you teach your body muscle memory, and eventually your body adapts. And so, and that was right, that it did that. Eventually my body just adapted, and I didn't have to make a concerted effort anymore to stand a certain way to relieve the pressure off my knees and hips and joints. And then I read years ago that copper helps with inflammation. Copper helps with inflammation in arthritis. I read that somewhere years ago, and I was in Shoppers and I saw some sleeves. These sleeves, the copper sleeves that I put over my knees. And it's not for tension or compression. It's simply because copper, I read, helps with inflammation. And then I found Mom found these copper-laced undergarments, boxers, compression boxers, and I got it. And just work work and prayer, work and prayer, work and prayer, and now I'm up to running 7.5K. And I can do that in 49 minutes. And that's from not being able to walk without pain, some days not being able to walk at all, walking with a perpetual limp. I actually have a cane that I bought because, you know, if you're going to limp, you might as well look cool doing it. So God, I asked and God said no. And that was really the beginning of this 4S system. You know, the idea that you can use faith, family, food, and fitness to manifest your best life. And we're doing that. And so, you know, as an act of service, we'd like to teach others how to do the same. And that's what this is for us. Get out the way and let my wife have some air.
Yeah. Well, it's already coming up on,
We're at 50 minutes.
And, so yeah, screen time. Screen time is one of the things that we had changed in the home.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen the benefits. You know, the, oh my gosh, I had it in my head. Sorry, for me it's like one of those, the behaviors have changed. They're actually much more calmer, their communication, and I just wanted to go back into regards to the ability for them to carry a conversation.
Oh, lovely.
So when I say that, it's that usually we see, you know, teens in the same room. I've actually even seen teens, you know, out in the park here by our house, and there's like 4 of them, but they're all standing there, but in their phones.
Yeah.
So are they talking to one another, or are they, you know, just gathered, but having outside communication? So it's just really important that they're able to hold a conversation with other people, because
Social skills.
yeah, social skills are very important, especially when you're going to be looking for a job. A lot of us aren't able to actually sit behind a computer and, you know, have employment that way, because, you know, some people are more inclined that way, but there's other people that are more social. And so it's just really important that we give them that skill and communicate. Because for me, and one of the things I had to really nip was the teenagers downstairs texting us upstairs. Jordan has tried, he's tried, and I'm like, don't you dare text them back, because they can come upstairs or you can go down and see them. However, no texting each other within the house. You guys get up, move, and go and talk to them face to face. Yeah, so the screen time is important, and also finding ways to be engaged with the kids. I just really, I guess, games, and giving them our attention, because no matter how much money in the world, that's not going to fit, you know, fulfill that hole. What they actually really want from us is time. Either it's just sitting in the same room, or else it's engaging in some kind of activity. Yeah, and it's like meeting them where they are. Because actually when you have them, I think my favorite thing is like driving in the vehicle with the kids. If I'm able to sit one-on-one with one of the kids in the vehicle and we're just driving, they will actually talk. Sometimes they'll surprise you, and it's not less intimidating when you're face to face, but when you're side by side and just having a conversation just about anything, usually you're gonna get a lot of information that you didn't have before. And teens are really good at that, because you gotta really listen, because they're not gonna go straight out and ask you. Jordan is really good at that with me anyways. He leaves me little clues as to if he needs something, and
little subtle hints.
Little subtle hints, and then I oh, he needs this, okay, well I'll go buy it, you know. And it's not something that, oh, I just want this. It's actually something that he requires, and that's what I love about Jordan, because he's just
Doesn't ask for much.
yeah, he doesn't ask for much, but if he needs something, he will come and
And
suddenly.
then there's Noah. And then here's Noah's method of communication. How Noah lets us know that he needs something. Hey, Jordan, we told Dad that we need this and that. Jordan is the go-between. Or even better still, Jordan the other day. Yeah, well, I wake up and Noah's sometimes in my room. What's Noah doing in your room in the middle of the night? Underwear, not underwear, underarm deodorant. These underarm deodorant. What else was it? What was the other
I
thing?
can't remember what the other thing was.
Yeah.
But he was going to Jordan to look for something so that Jordan
Lotion.
will come. Yeah, and then Jordan will come to us to ask for what
Right.
he needed.
And
So
it's like,
just-
how you going through so much, bro?
Yeah.
What's going on now? Yeah.
So yeah, it's just their communication style. So it's just, yeah,
Mm.
communication style is different for each child, but it's also very important that you adapt and you listen because they're gonna give you the clues that you require.
Oh, well said.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Yeah.
Hey, Be Happy. I love your name. Be happy. Happiness is a choice. I love that. I love that. Thank you. However, it's not. For instance, we don't bend and fold. Meet them where they are. Yes. However, we reserve the right to parent. We reserve the right to, we insist that you are actively involved and engaged in the decisions that affect your life. However, when we feel that we reserve the right to veto any and all decisions that you make, when we feel that those interests are not in your best interest, that we make no apologies for that. For instance, Noah now, even meeting Noah where he is. Let's meet our children where they are. So Noah went to Toronto. We sent Noah to Toronto with Uncle Leroy to hang out for the summer and to just, play some ball and try something out, And so, of course, being that you're in Toronto, was he 18 at the time?
Yep.
Right? And, so I'm going to be calling. I'm going to be checking in on you. I'm going to be wanting to know that you're okay. We're going to be wanting to know that you're okay. And I remember one afternoon, I was just having a hellacious time getting a hold of him. And finally he answered the phone and he gave me one of these, I don't really like to talk on the phone. I would rather text. Now, meeting him where he was in that situation would have said that, okay, son, I'll text with you. That's fine. However, you see these pudgy fingers? They are not conducive to texting. You know what I'm saying? They just, look at those. Pudgy. So, son, suck it up and please answer the phone when we call. Whenever we call, whatever it is that you're doing, please answer the phone. Can you wish my friend Nick Gear a happy birthday? Hey, Nick Gear, the happiest birthday.
Happy birthday.
You want to sing a song?
No.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. I was going to do the whole Marilyn Monroe thing, but that would have been just really awkward, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's not. Happy birthday, Nick. God bless you. We appreciate you so much. What?
Sorry. I was actually picturing you singing it.
Oh, you were picturing me in the Marilyn Monroe dress?
Sorry, yeah.
When I had to wear the white, what did the contrast
the white.
of my black skin against the white dress and just, doing the whole thing there. Yeah, no.
Anyways, so we're hitting already an hour and we're going to get kicked off on,
No, they don't do that anymore. Instagram, for whatever reason, they must have changed.
we got more minutes.
We got more minutes. Last night we said we were going to lose the gram and it never happened. So
Yeah, so.
However, we are coming up on an hour, 58 minutes, and I think that, God bless those that stuck around and, the ones passing through. God bless you. And we wish for you what we have found in our God and in each other. We're not here telling anybody how to live their life. Free will is everything. However, this works for the Simpson family. And I know that God will work for you too.
Yes. No, I'm ready to go. And so we'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm not even sure what the topic is. However,
You will be back.
yeah, we'll see what the kids want to. They're very active, very involved in what we're going to talk about. Well, most of it, anyways. However, they have their input. So we'll see you guys tomorrow and have a good night.
Mm-hmm.